What is a secret that you will never tell anyone? 1. I used to work in a shopping center. One time, as I was walking into the building, I sneezed and totally pooped myself. I was about 10 steps away from the shop, so I had to think fast. I took a hard left turn and walked directly into a department store. I only had $5 on me, so I beelined for the underpants section and got the cheapest pair I could find. I then had to go to the center toilets and sort everything out. It was a real mess. I texted my boss and told them I was stuck in traffic, but in reality, I was 100 meters away, trying to salvage any shred of dignity I could for the next 20 minutes. I'm happy to say the mission was a success, and that day is now the benchmark by which all other days are measured. Every day since has been infinitely better. 2. When I was 9, my dad and I were reading Reader's Digest and found a magazine subscription card for a free case of Depends adult diapers, so we wrote my uncle's name and address down and put it in the mailbox. He got it a couple of weeks later and called everyone in the family to find out who it was. We knew my uncle was fuming, so we kept it to ourselves. To this day, everyone suspects it was my other uncle. 3. When I was in 4th grade, I put mustard in one of my friend's burgers because he had told me that he hated mustard. Turns out he was actually allergic. He didn't come to school for 3 days, and I was scared that I had ended him. To this day, no one knows I did it. 4. I didn't know my best friend's name for almost 10 years. She goes by Katie almost exclusively, and I got it in my head early on that it was short for Caitlin. Imagine my surprise when I heard her being referred to as Catherine at our convocation. No right way to bring that one up in conversation. 5. When I was about 7 years old, my dad took me to Blockbuster, and I really had to pee. Blockbuster didn't have a restroom, so I peed in one of the aisles. I'm pretty sure the cameras saw me, but, thankfully, there was no one near me. 6. Around 10 years ago, when I was a teenager, my dad, who worked in the video game industry back then, got a gaming laptop, worth around $3,000 at the time, as a gift he didn't have a real use for. He gave it to me since I used to play WoW back then. He was very adamant about telling me to not put liquids, i.e., drinks, etc., on my desk next to it because I'm very clumsy. So one night, I made myself a huge bowl of cornflakes and put the bowl next to the laptop because I forgot my spoon in the kitchen. I sometimes put a blanket over myself when I was gaming, and that night, when I got up from the chair, I somehow managed to flip the bowl over with my blanket. The milk flooded the open laptop. I got incredibly scared, turned the laptop off, and cleaned it like my life depended on it, then went to bed. I obviously broke the laptop as I didn't get it to turn on anymore, but I was too scared to tell my dad what happened, especially since he repeatedly told me to be careful. I told him I had no idea what happened and how it worked perfectly fine the night before. I still feel incredibly bad about it. 7. Probably 15 years ago, my sister had a gerbil. One day, I decided to bring it out of its cage and surprise her in the living room with it. Somehow, I slipped on the carpet, and the gerbil went flying headfirst into the wall. It basically sounded like I threw a golf ball at the wall, and the gerbil wasn't moving. Naturally, I put it back in its cage and removed myself from the vicinity. To my amazement, the damn thing was still alive and moving around a few minutes later. It lived another 2 years without anyone ever knowing that I basically Kobe'd it into the wall at full speed. 8. Sometimes, I just want to be alone. I don't want a partner, I don't want pets or a family. I just want to travel, live my life, and wander. Work as I go and be free. 9. My dad was single, and a couple of my friends' moms were always bringing us food. My dad would say they were just being nice because he was a single guy raising 3 kids by himself. One day, my aunt picked me up from school sick, and we headed home. She must have known what was up and had me wait in the car. Both of my friends' moms came out half-dressed, with my aunt yelling at my dad. I never told anyone out of fear. One mom was divorced, but one wasn't, and I was afraid of tearing their family apart. 10. In 3rd grade, I thought it was cool as hell to wear glasses, but I had near-perfect vision. So, I failed an eye exam on purpose, and now, almost 20 years later, I'm legally blind without glasses because my eyes got so messed up.